Today, we're unboxing Wave 6 of McFarlane Super Powers Retro line. And stick around to the end of the video because as we go, we will give each figure an individual rating and then rate the wave in full at the end. But first, welcome back or welcome to the channel. I'm Steven, this is Chris, and we are Just BS. And if this is your first time here, man, you've got some catching up to do. We've got unboxings of all the waves 1 through 5 on our channel right now, as well as other action figure videos, movies, all kinds of stuff. So we'll have the Go Figure playlist linked to this video. I'll link all of the McFarlane specific videos in the description below. So after you like this video, after you subscribe to our channel, you can go check all of that out. You'll have a whole lot of entertainment for you for probably the next few days. All right, with that out of the way, we can go ahead and jump right into Wave 6. Now, this is 6 figures in this wave. 4 of them are repaints. I know we always get frustrated about the repaints. Understand why they have to do them. Those big Hallmark characters like Batman and Superman are kind of what keep the wave and the lines running. So you deal with it. And for the most part, most of the repaints have been very, very good. We've actually surprisingly liked ones that we didn't even think we were going to like. They were better than the ones that they originally released. So we'll see if that trend holds up in Wave 6. We're going to be starting with a figure that I wasn't too familiar with. Doesn't sound like Chris was too familiar with as far as the comic line goes, and that is Batman of Zur-En-Arrh. Very interesting look for this Batman, multicolored, got some red, yellows, and purples in there. In my research on this, and I mentioned this in a previous video, there's, I guess, 2 versions of this. There's an alien that took up the mantle of Batman on his home planet and used this outfit. There's also an alternate version of Bruce Wayne on another world. Judging by the back of this package, pause to read the back of that package, by the way, that is the alternate version of Bruce Wayne. So we will get Batman of Zur-En-Arrh unboxed, take a look at him, and see what we think. All right, we've got our Batman of Zur-En-Arrh out of the package, and yes, very, very colorful. Chris, what are you thinking about this one, buddy?
I said he's very colorful.
Very colorful. Very colorful.
I said the only time I think I've ever seen him was on an episode of Batman, I think Brave and Bold.
Batman Brave and Bold.
Cartoon. They actually had the 2 Batman like interacting and stuff. I don't remember the storyline at all. But that's the only time I've actually seen this one. So it's just an interesting Batman character.
Just very interesting. Very interesting.
Very colorful.
We've harped on the packaging before, making sure the figures match the package. This one looks pretty good. Looks like it matches the. There you go. Yeah, no, looks pretty good.
Like the cape. The cape's very nice.
The cape is very nice. Yes, I'm so glad they switched those cloth capes. Now, our friend the Cape Master is still making capes that are actually better version cloth capes if you're interested in those. I've been, by and large, pretty happy with these. I'll mention the Cape Master again later in the video, I think. But yeah, this one for me, so I wasn't, like I said, wasn't real familiar. This is a repaint of the Wave 1 Hush Batman, which I do have here as well, so we can kind of compare those two. I wasn't as big a fan of this style of Batman, that Hush Batman and that mold that McFarlane started with in this line of toys. That said, you know, I don't want to ding a figure because I'm not familiar with the character. I'm sure there's fans of this comic line all over the place that are super stoked about this one. Kind of wish they'd have used maybe something a little bit different, maybe the other Batman mold, though we'll see later that they did use that one in this wave as well. I'm not as big a fan of this one myself. So on our rating scale, I'm going to give it a not BS. It's not a terrible figure or anything like that. I can see that kids might be excited about this with all the bright colors and all of that kind of thing. Fans of the character may be excited. The mold that they use, not as big a fan of that one. And it's just not my thing. Not my thing. What about you, Chris?
Not me. I'm dinging it. It's a BS for me.
Oh, it's a BS. All right. All right.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's just a cash grab, money grab for this one. He's not a very well-known character at all.
Yeah.
So
someone in the comments is yelling at you right now. I was like, I love Batman of Zur-En-Arrh.
Yell at me. Let me know why you think it should be higher on
Yeah, let us know for sure.
Because I just don't see any the amount of characters that you guys have suggested and we have suggested. It would be so much better than this character. So I'm very disappointed that they actually brought this character out.
Yeah, and I think if it had to be a Batman, there are so many other versions of Batman that which we'll probably see in future waves. There are different versions of Batman that I think would have probably fit into this. And so I will revise my score. I agree with you. I think this is a BS. I was trying to be a little bit nicer, but no, I agree. I think this could have been a stronger character, even if you were going with the Batman lore.
Yeah, well, and honestly, when you said you're not going to ding it for that, I initially had it as total BS, but I upped it to BS. So.
Okay. Well, we're compromising. We're both giving Batman of Zur-En-Arrh BS. Sorry for all you Batman of Zur-En-Arrh fans that are screaming at us right now. Although I haven't seen too many comments that were saying that they were excited about this one. There were a couple, but not too many. So you two out there that are very, very excited about this and upset about our ratings. Sorry, buddy. All right, let's move into the next one. Let's grab one of the. Let's go into the gold figures. We've got 2 gold edition figures here. Let's start with the Flash. You got the Flash Gold Edition. Yeah, so these are 40th anniversary Gold Edition figures. There's 2 of them in this line. We'll do the second one next. This is the Wally West version of the Flash again. The interesting thing is that they did give you a new picture. So this is a unique picture on the package to all of the other Flashes that have been released. All right, well, we'll go ahead and you know what's interesting? We'll go ahead and talk about the packaging while we still have them in it. You'd think maybe they'd put them in gold on the packaging to kind of match what you're seeing in the package. So a little bit of a ding there, although I do like that it is a unique photo for that version of Wally West.
The only reason maybe I could see that they didn't do it is because the gold kind of blends in really well with the yellow as is.
It does.
So
it does.
Just like a giant gloopy yellow gold.
Bit of a monochrome look there. They could have given him some shininess to it or something like that. Which we'll talk about it when we get him out of the package.
All right, here he is.
All right. Yeah, we got our Wally West Gold Anniversary Edition Flash out of the package. Now, these are, and I've mentioned this in past videos, these Gold Edition figures are a nod to a planned but never released, I think it was a 50th anniversary Superman that Kenner was going to do back in the 80s.
Oh, yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, and pictures everywhere and never released them, so it is pretty cool. What I was going to say is I'm a little disappointed that they didn't do a vac metal gold, which the Superman would have been. It was kind of a vac metal, shiny gold. Like, appreciate you. Those are the powers of the Flash, by the way, for anyone not in the know, that Chris so nicely demonstrated in slow motion. In so Zack Snyder slow motion version of the Flash. This is a very, very monochrome figure. There's like not a whole lot of color deviation, because they used a similar kind of gold as the belt and the boots that they used in the other Wally West figure. So it's all just gold. It's just gold. There's nothing that's standing out. Kind of wish they'd have maybe put some accents in his logo or something like that. Still use some red somewhere.
Yeah, I don't even know if they actually used the same gold from the belt. Actually, it doesn't look too gold to me.
So the Wally West from the last wave is right there. We can hold that up and compare them. Right. So it does look like it is the same color gold, but against the gold, it makes it look mustardy.
They didn't do a very good paint job with it, though, too. It looks like you actually got, like, spray paint gold.
They just spray painted him.
From his
use some Rust-Oleum on
check it out. I mean, you see at the very top of the belt there?
I can see that. I can see that. Yeah.
All right, there's certain,
so we'll hold that up, and I'll try to zoom in on that for you guys if you can see it. You might be right about the spray paint. These joints feel like after you've spray painted something, they're real tight on that. Yeah, I just kind of wish, they could have changed the color of the boots or the symbol to give it some kind of contrast. It just doesn't stand out all that much. At least they left a black circle around his symbol there. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'll start the rating on this one as well. I'm giving this one a total BS. I think this may be my first total BS of the McFarlane wave. I'm just not a fan of that one. This is very, very lazily done, and I'm worried about those joints that they might, kind of. And this may not be all of them, so I mean I can't judge that on all of them, but it's real tight there.
I don't know if you can hear it in the mic.
If you can hear it, let's see if I can hear. If you hear this, let us know. That's the others don't sound like that. Total BS for me.
All right. I'm actually going to give it a not BS.
Okay.
And I think that's because this is the first of the gold characters, right? There's, I think 2 came out, but we don't have any others.
Well, so there is another gold character in this wave that we'll get to right after this one.
Right.
But yes, for McFarlane, this is the first gold one.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of cool.
It is.
You know, they were on a pretty good streak, you know, with 2 flashes, reverse flash. So a little disappointing that they came out with another flash, you know.
And so close in succession, too.
So close in succession.
Yeah.
So it would have been nice to have that, but they were probably running out of that gold paint that they were using from the last wave. So they're like, what can we do in order to get rid of this gold paint?
Let's spray paint some figures. No.
But I think it's pretty cool because it is the first, there's 2 of them, this line, but just for the fact that it is a gold character, I think that's kind of cool. 40th anniversary.
Very cool.
So.
Very cool. Yeah, I had always wanted that gold Superman, so I was really excited about seeing some of these 40th anniversary gold editions in the works. You're going to see in the next figure, it's a good segue, why I was a little harsher on that one. The next gold figure is our gold Batman, so you can go ahead and grab that. It's on your side as well. And this is the 40th anniversary gold edition Batman, who in my opinion looks way better than the Flash. I think that contrasting, keeping the cowl black, keeping the gloves black, keeping part of the belt black, boots black, all of that I think really, really helps. It's probably the exact same paint. He may still have stiff joints, so we'll see when we get him out of the package. But for those of you who were fans of Kenner Toys back in the 80s and 90s when Batman and Batman Returns came out, you're probably looking at this figure and thinking, it looks very familiar.
Yes.
There have been a lot of gold.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah. So there have been a lot of gold Batmans over the years. They've had them for the animated series. They've had, country-specific gold Batmen that were painted in a similar way. They even had, McFarlane, I think, released a solid gold Batman in kind of a taller scale with more articulation and everything. Gold Batman thing's not new. But for most of you looking at this, you're thinking, why does it look familiar? Or you know immediately why it looks familiar. You're thinking of Tech Shield Batman from the Dark Knight collection. It was the gold Batman painted almost exactly like this, almost identically the same body shape and body mold.
Okay.
But looked very, very similar to this, only with the Michael Keaton face. It's also called, I think there was an Arrow Strike Batman that used the same. So if you didn't pick up the Tech Shield Batman, the Batman Returns line after that movie came out, reused that mold. And that was essentially the first repainted figure and kind of started Kenner on a whole slew of different colored Batman for the Batman line. So you had the solid black Batman, just the normal style Batman. This came out as well in the first series, and it sold like hotcakes. People were like, oh, so that's something different. So they just started repainting all their Batman different colors, kind of like what McFarlane's doing right now. But this one, for a nostalgic reason, looks really cool. I immediately think of Tech Shield Batman or Arrow Strike Batman. This one is a little bit more of a coppery gold than that one was. There was also a copper one.
I remember the copper Batman.
Yeah, it was like an Aero Glide or something like that. That might be a lube. I don't think it was Aero Glide. It was something like the Air Strike Batman or something like that. Had a glider like.
I also remember Batman that was just all yellow.
Yes, the scuba diving one.
Scuba diving.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I'm thinking of too. But I don't really remember the gold one. Maybe I do. I don't know. I mean, there's, like I said, there's so many. I remember copper, remember yellow, gold. If I see it, then I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember playing with that.
100%. You will recognize it as soon as you see it. And go back and watch this video after it's been edited. I will have the comparison pictures in there. That is one that I was kind of excited to see. For a gold edition, this was the way to do it as far as I'm concerned. And again, on the packaging, a unique picture of Batman. That picture has not been used.
I was going to mention that as well. It's like that one completely different. So
at
least they're listening on that part.
They are. Again, I kind of wish they'd have given him a gold sheen just because, but it is cool that we're getting new, unique photos on the packaging for some of the repaints.
Yeah.
All right, let's pop this guy open and get a closer look at him.
All right, there we go.
Batman Gold Edition out of the package. And yeah, even more so out of the package, this dude looks a lot like that. His joints don't sound near as stiff. They're still kind of creaky.
A little creaky, but yeah, not too stiff.
Not as bad as the Flash was.
No, yeah, but I do like this one. The contrasting with the gold and the black is very cool.
I just think that adds so much to it. It's not monochrome. And like I said, it just instantly reminds you of the 80s and that nostalgic feeling in the 90s when you saw those Batman movie figures and you're like, oh, that looks cool, a gold Batman.
Yeah, and the only other kind of case, I forgot which character you said this one was based off of.
The Tech Shield Batman.
The Tech Shield Batman. You know, I was sitting there thinking, you know, if Batman ever did get in a fight with Superman and he got gold kryptonite, there you go. This is the suit.
That is 100% how I used it. Yeah, it was a Kryptonian resistant gold suit that he could use to fight Superman.
Take away Superman's powers permanently.
That's right. Yeah, this would be the ultimate power suit for Batman. The joints, I can say 100% certainty, not nearly as stiff as that Flash. So that's very cool. I really do like this one. Yeah, I'm digging this one. I think there could have been other Batman that would have been included that you get a little bit more use out of. But I do, like you, I really like the nod to the original Kenner. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. I like the gold, the idea of the gold, and that nod to the anniversary edition. So this one for me, I'm giving this one a good.
Yeah, same as me. Yeah. I'm going to give that as good. I really just like that color contrasting. Me too. And yeah, we've had lots of Batman already.
Well, we've got, so these are the two that were previous that this one is based off of. So these were the ones that were repainted. And I'm actually, so you can see that was the original classic detective from Wave 4. But these two, man, just takes you right back. That, like, on the shelf, you would see those two sitting next to each other. And that's, you know, almost with the exception of not having Michael Keaton's face. That is almost exactly what you would see sitting on the shelf there. Love that. Very good figure there. All right, now we'll get into the final repaint, I believe. Yep, we're on the final repaint, and it's a Superman repaint. This was another character that I wasn't as familiar with, but have since kind of done some reading on, read a couple of comics with it, the Justice Lords.
Justice Lords, yeah.
And they were kind of a more militant, by any means necessary kind of a Justice League. And so we have the Lord Superman from the Justice Lords, and this is of Earth 50 according to the back of the packaging. Pause to read all of the backs of the packages as we go through this video. I was not expecting to really care much about this one. I saw the photos and I was like, I guess it's kind of a cool paint scheme, but seeing it up close in person, that's one of those situations where it's pleasantly surprising to me. So we'll go ahead and pop this out of the package and get well, actually, let's look at the packaging compared to the figure real quick. Again, it's pretty close. Actually, I think they put more gray in the temples on the figure than they did in the picture.
Yeah, they did do that. I do like it is another custom. Whatever. It's not. It's not the same Superman.
It's not. It's a unique picture.
Unique picture.
Right.
Thank
it's
you.
It's a unique picture.
Unique.
And yeah, they haven't used that poser and just photoshopped it on any of the other ones or anything like that. You get a unique photo, a unique description. So that is very cool. All right, now we can pop it out of the package. Take a look. All right, got our Lord Superman out of the package and in hand. Even more impressive, I think, than when, you know, just looking at him in the package. Looks like they did the gray kind of all around. So you can kind of see that he's got kind of the gray temples, and it goes all the way around the back. I also really like that they went with the red eyes, the angry red eyes.
Yes.
I like that a lot, but the other figures, the other Superman figures that we've seen have had the blue dots for eyes. This one has the red. I really like that. I like that symbol. I like how that looks with the white cape and the white on black, I guess whitish gray. It's kind of a grayish white. Now, I said I would mention Cape Master again in the video. He's doing, like I said, all of the custom capes for this wave and all the previous waves. He had one created that had the symbol on the back. And then I noticed that he had mentioned in a comment to someone else who was asking for it, they said, on the package, you can see that Superman has a two-toned cape. It's white on the outside, black on the inside. Oh. And they asked if he had those. And he said, you can custom order it. So I did. Cool. I have a two-toned black on the inside, white on the outside cape coming. And I got it without the symbol on the back. Because I think if I'm not mistaken from what I've seen in the comics, he did not have the symbol on the back of that cape. So I wanted it as comic accurate as possible, as accurate to the picture as possible. Unfortunately, didn't get it before we started recording, so that I can throw that up as a short or something like that when we receive it, or in a future video, show that off.
That'd be cool. Yeah, definitely do that.
But very excited to, very excited. And he created it, like, I reached out to him. He had it, in the box and ready to ship to me the following day. So reach out to Cape Master if you're interested. He's a good guy. Yeah, I'm kind of digging that one. What do you think about it?
This, have we ever done like a ranking of Superman's costumes? Maybe we will. This would have been kind of near my top. I've always liked
It's
this.
really cool. Yeah.
And I'm not 100% sure, but I didn't think that this was black. I thought it was just very, 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 very dark blue.
So I did see both.
Okay.
I saw that they had the Justice Lord storyline in the animated series at one point, or maybe it was the Justice League cartoon, which would probably make more sense. And that one was a very, very dark blue. A lot of the comic pictures I saw were very, very dark blue, but there were some that were kind of that black, grayish white color scheme.
And it could just be like the variants of Justice Lord.
Different variants, yeah.
So yeah, that's I didn't remember a whole lot of the story of how this character came to be, but from what I do remember, it was basically like President Luthor somehow got the Flash killed, and Superman executed Luthor.
Wow.
And was like, yeah, I feel great, and then they became the Justice Lord from that point
so
forward.
It's kind of almost an Injustice style. Yeah,
exactly. So I don't remember if Injustice came out first or it was the Justice Lord.
I think correct us in the comments, I think Justice Lords came out first and Injustice came out kind of in tie-in with the video game. I also really like, because we know there's going to be more repaints, let's be real, I like that they now have this style of Superman with the gray temples ready to go for a Kingdom Come version of Superman.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I think, cutting back a little bit on the gray in the back, though. I mean, if you just
that's a little
just
bit much. A little bit much, yeah.
Like this guy here.
Well, I have a Sharpie over there. We can correct that after cameras.
Yeah, I mean, if they fix that, just gave him a little bit of gray in the temples. I mean, they even had that on Hal Jordan's Green Lantern back in the 90s. I really like this Superman a lot, so I'm going to kick it off, and I'm going to say it's so good.
So good,
because,
all right.
I've always been a fan of this costume. It's one of the higher ones.
Yeah, and I really like it, especially seeing it in person. I actually like the black over the dark blue, so I think this works really well. It works with that red symbol. It works, just almost perfectly for me. I am not going to give it a so good, only because of the discrepancy in the packaging, again, with the two-tone cape. So it will be a so good when Cape Master saves another figure. Right now, as it stands, this is a good for me.
There you go.
All right. That, my friends, was the final repaint. Again, not the best. We had our first total BS in here. Almost had two total BSs in here.
Yep.
But now we get to the stars of this wave. And I think we'll start with the villain first. And that will be Sinestro. And so we have our very first Sinestro for the Super Powers line. Really digging it. Now, someone who saw the photos in one of our past videos when we were announcing the pre-orders and all of that, they said it's giving me Luke Evans vibes. And now I cannot unsee that at all. This is Luke Evans as Sinestro, and I really kind of want him to be cast as Sinestro now. But this is the Super Friends costume style of Sinestro, which I always really loved. So I'm stoked about that one. Belt's a little wonky from what I can see in the package, but other than that, I really think that's a good depiction. I think on the Super Friends it was more purpley.
I think it was more purpley, so I don't know if it's the Super Friends or just how Sinestro's costume was. Back
in the 80s, and it's kind of that style.
The picture that they have of him, he's a bit more jacked.
Yes. He was a slimmer character than that, but the figure captures that pretty well. I think the figure's a good slim character.
The figure's good there. Yeah, I really like that character look already. So
they were,
finally a good villain.
A great villain.
Does he have a mustache? Yeah, he does.
He does.
A little
He's got that little,
I had to look for
pencil mustache. Yeah, so I'm seeing Luke Evans, and after you mentioned the pencil mustache, which I wasn't kind of seeing in the shadow there, Vincent Price.
I was going to say that's the Vincent Price stash right there.
Vincent Price stash. Yep. Or if you've seen Vince McMahon lately.
Oh, boy.
That's, let's not talk about Vince McMahon. Go ahead and get Sinestro open. All right, got our Luke Evans Sinestro and or Vincent Price out of the package. Love that he came with the yellow lantern. And very nice joints on this one. Very easy to move. Costume looks good. Belt does still look a little bit wonky on it, but not too bad. Digging the costume still. And yep, got his ring, got the yellow ring.
So that's one of the first things I was looking for.
Yeah, you got to make sure you have the ring on there.
And make sure that it wasn't on the same hand as the lantern.
That's correct. That's correct. Yep. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I do too. I think he actually had a different style lantern in comics, though. I mean, because so I'm not sure about that, but it's very similar to the Green Lantern ones. But as far as I remember, his was slightly different. They did not do a good job at that belt, though. Jeez, you're right. I mean, everything else on this costume looks really good. I mean, it looks like they're just kind of like shaking.
Yeah, a little bit. And well, actually, it's better than the promotional picture that I saw and that we posted in a previous video, because that one looked like it was completely crooked, like the way, like it almost looked like his hips were kind of off kilter there. But this one it's just a little shaky on the paint.
Not too bad.
Total BS.
Total BS. Nah, I like this character a lot. We've been asking for villains. Finally got it.
This was one of the ones we requested in our video as well.
Exactly.
In our What's Next video.
So I like this guy a lot already. So.
Me too. Why don't you go ahead and kick off the rating on this one as well?
Well, I've been wanting more villains. This is one of the top ones you can get. Overall, I like the costume, a little bit for the belt and possibly the lantern. I don't recall, but I'm still going to give it a so good because I really like that guy.
Yeah, I am going to agree with that. I will also give this a so good. Now, there is a repaint coming in Wave 7. If you saw our Wave 7 revealed video, Sinestro is going to be in that wave as well with the yellow Sinestro Core War outfit on. So kind of a more updated version of his costume, where the yellow lantern may probably have made more sense to combine it with that. So just color scheme wise would have looked good. Although, still comic accurate to have a yellow lantern with Sinestro. So definitely not going to ding it for that. So good for me as well. And then we get to our final figure in Wave 6. This is the star of the show. This is Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. And they did what they did with the classic Detective Batman and went back to the Kenner style. Man, you can put them next to each other. Those two look so much alike. It's scary. And it's done really, really well.
Yeah, it already has a completely different lantern.
It does have a different lantern. Yeah.
All right. Well, I like the packaging as well. Another unique.
The figure has a little bit of a darker green than the packaging, but still looks really, really good. Let's pop this guy out of the package, take a look at him. All right, we got our Green Lantern out of the package. With his lantern.
Yeah, I love this lantern.
Me too.
This is definitely one that I've been looking forward to seeing. I know that John Stewart's been pretty much like the primary focus of Green Lantern for the last 15, 20 years or so. But he's always been Green Lantern, followed by Kyle.
Kyle Rayner, yeah.
So hopefully they come out with a Kyle, because that'd be cool. I'd like to see him.
I can't see there not being a Kyle and a Guy Gardner at some point in the future.
Problem with Kyle is he's been every color lantern, so you can make anything you want. And
awesome.
He's the only lantern that has become a white lantern. So McFarlane's going to love that, because he can make all of them off of one mold. You just keep repainting them different colors. And it's totally a legit repaint.
Yeah, totally.
Because he's really been that way. But I like it.
I like it too.
This is great. He's got his ring on it, just like Sinestro
got the ring
did.
on it. It looks so good. It looks like I said, man, that takes me back to the Kenner version. It looks so much like it. And
while we're taking this lantern out of the package, we noticed that it is definitely different than Sinestro's lantern.
So, in fact, we can also show Green Lantern with the John Stewart version that was released in Wave 2.
Here we go.
And we can also see that's a different lantern than John Stewart had.
Yeah, so three.
So we've got this lantern, 3 different ones.
You see Sinestro's is similar to John Stewart's, but different handle.
Different handle. Got his symbol on the top, which probably not picking up on camera, but it's there.
And then just these little, I don't know what you call them, the little...
The power holes?
Yeah, power hole. Yeah, we'll call it
power holes.
John Stewart's got a smaller power hole than Sinestro.
Oh, Sinestro's going to brag about that for years. But, of course, the Hal Jordan one has the largest lantern with the largest handle.
And the largest power hole.
And the largest power hole. So no one competes with Hal Jordan in our McFarlane line. Yeah, that's very, very cool. I'll go ahead and kick off the rating on that one. I think this Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, as if it wasn't apparent enough what I was going to do. This is so good. For sure. This is a so
Times
good for me.
two. So good.
So good. So good. Yeah, this is the star of this line. All right. So we have talked about all 6 figures in Wave 6. And as we said at the beginning of the video, we will give this entire wave a rating. Now, I'm going to let you go first because I need to think about it for a second. So you just, as we've talked, what have you thought about the entire wave?
The entire wave, I think this is the first wave that I've had 3 so goods. So, yeah, I've also had my lowest rating, though, of a BS.
Right, right.
But overall, I'm going to give it a good rating.
Good rating. Okay. Okay. I am, as an entire wave, for me, even though I was very pleasantly surprised with the Lord Superman, I dig the gold anniversary edition Batman for the nostalgia factor. The fact that it is only 2 new figures and 4 repaints, and there were some very disappointing repaints among them, that Flash and the Zur-En-Arrh Batman being the 2 primary offenders. Man, this hurts me to do it because Green Lantern and Sinestro are so good.
Yeah.
We gave them so good. I'm gonna have to bump this down to not BS. It's not a BS rating. Like, if you want to pick up the entire wave, you're not gonna regret it. If you like these characters that much to pick them up, they're decent. A not BS on our rating scale is kind of like a 3.5 out of 5. So
Right.
still very, very good. But these 2 guys here are the stars of the show. This is a 2-figure wave as far as I'm concerned. You can pick these up and skip the rest of them if you don't like them. Huh?
I say 3.
3 figures. Okay. Fair enough.
That's because I like that Superman.
Fair enough. Yeah. This is a 3, possibly 2.5 figure wave that, I do really like that Superman also. I almost kind of would have preferred them to save him for a future wave that was a stronger wave. That's just kind of my feelings on it. So I'm going to have to give it a not BS. That's my harshest rating for McFarlane so far. I understand the repaints, I really do, but the repaints are coming so fast that you're getting repaints in waves, like subsequent waves. Like you'll get a figure, it gets repainted twice in the following 2 waves. And it looks like Wave 7 is kind of breaking that. There's going to be a couple of repaints in that one, but the new stuff that's coming, whoa, it looks awesome. So we'll see if that, maybe Wave 7 is a harbinger of good things, and we'll get some more of those new figures in each wave going forward. I will say that the order and shipping process for this wave so far has been the best one.
Oh, good.
This McFarlane Toys directly offered a bundle at the very beginning, sold out super fast. So I'm sorry if you guys weren't able to get in on it. I think I barely got in on it because I got those in and then it was sold out almost after I hit click.
Oh, nice.
But they offered all 6 figures for $50. So basically you get a figure for free.
Dang, that's good.
It was very good. It was very cool. And really the only reason I got all of them, to be honest, we were just going to show pictures of the ones that we didn't want in our unboxing. But they also shipped this out so fast. It initially said shipping would probably happen sometime in middle to end of January. This thing shipped out shortly after New Year's. We had it in hand about a week ago now, so we're a little behind on getting the unboxing together, but that was the fastest I've ever seen from any of the shipping. Like no delays, nothing like that. As soon as McFarlane had them in hand, they were shipping out to customers. So my recommendation going forward, guys, keep an eye out on the McFarlane Toy Store. They sell out faster there, but if you can get in when the pre-orders initially open, that's the way to go. They're going to send it out a little bit quicker. Hopefully, because they weren't doing that in past waves. But this one, man, just A+ for the experience, for the buying experience there. Almost makes me want to kick that up to
I was just going to ask that. Do you want to increase your rating now because of that?
I do not, because the last few waves...
Do you want to increase because there are no vehicles?
I do not know. I like the vehicles. I want more vehicles. And we'll be getting those in Wave 7. So I'm sticking with my not BS. It's still a pretty decent line, but man, I think there's just a lot of skippable figures here. And if you can search out the ones that are your favorite, there's no reason to have all of them unless you're just collecting them to do a YouTube channel like we are.
There you go. Looking forward to Wave 7.
Me too. Me too.
Let's see here. What was one of the vehicles that's going to be in Wave 7?
Wave 7 includes the Blue Beetle bug ship and the Brainiac skull ship.
So those are going to be fantastic.
And I think those were Blue Beetle and the Blue Beetle Bug Ship were two very, very highly requested items in our What's Next video. Go check that out if you haven't yet. Again, it's going to be linked in the description, and it's in our Go Figure playlist. And Brainiac and the Brainiac Skull Ship were also very, very highly requested, including by us. We both wanted to see Brainiac and the Skull Ship. We had talked about having them packaged up together, and I don't think they will be, but they're coming out in the same wave, so that's fantastic. Wave 7, I think, we've said this before, it's because of our videos that all of this is happening. So thank us and thank you guys in the comments, because they're reading your suggestions. I'm sure of it. But yes, Wave 7 is looking very, very strong. Very excited to see the official pictures for that, because we have not yet. And when we do, as I said, we will get that on the channel, let you guys know. And hopefully they'll have pre-order information pretty soon. Now that this is already shipped out, they had pre-orders ready for Wave 6 within, I want to say it was less than a month of Wave 5's release. So we're going to be keeping our eyes out for that and trying to get in on those early McFarlane deals like we did for this one as well. So guys, again, thank you so much for following, for liking, for subscribing to our channel. Share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed yet and you've been stopping by a few times, guys, stop waiting. Just go ahead and hit subscribe. You want to make sure you're seeing all of our videos. We've got other stuff besides McFarlane, movies and video games and all kinds of great stuff on the channel. So subscribe. You won't regret it. It'll feel good. I think when you click the button, something goes through your body. It's like an electric flash charge.
You're like, hey, I can really BS with these guys.
You can BS with these guys. We enjoy BSing with you.
We want to see those comments. We want to feel the love. We want to feel the hate. Whatever. Just send us some love and send us that hate.
Send us love. Send us hate. If you do hate us, share it with people you don't like. They might get a kick out of it. But no, seriously, thank you guys so much for all of the love, for the support.
Yeah, it's fantastic, 100%. Guys. We love it. We love you. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And on that note, we'll go ahead and close this video out. We're going to be sharing our top 10 movies of 2023 very soon. So look for that. Crystal has his long play of Monkey Island going up, which is 4.5 hours of amazingness. And you can watch in awe as Chris does things you never would have thought to do, or you're screaming at him in the comments, let him know. And again, keep an eye out for more McFarlane. They will be coming very soon, maybe sooner than we think. We were not prepared to do Wave 6 this early. So keep an eye out, subscribe so you don't miss them, hit the bell notification, and we'll see you in the next one.
Have a great one, guys.